What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the AM, guys. Welcome back to 5 Minute Rants. I'm your host, Michael Abernathy, and welcome back to the show predicated on the journey of life and business. Hey, guys, real quick ask, and I know I'm asking, but if you know somebody that this would help, and if you know somebody that this podcast would better their lives, would you share it with them? Or if you just want to help and you want to help spread the word, would you rate the podcast or leave a review? And if you want to get the word out, and if you don't mind partnering with me, I really appreciate it. Anyways, guys, thanks for listening and tuning in. I want to talk about want versus need today. And before we jump into this, I want to define these two words, or I'm going to define these two words so we can be on the same page. First, want is something that I desire, and it can be anything. It can be a relationship, it can be a purchase, it can be anything. A want is something that I desire that may or may not have a superficial purpose attached to it, okay? And so a want is simply desire that I want something. For instance, cool, I've got a comforter on my bed, but you know what? I would like a nicer duvet. I like a nicer comforter, or I've got pillows, but I want nicer pillows. I want the Supreme Luxe pillows. There's no greater good attached to that. There's no purpose. It's just getting pillows to have the best pillows. That's a want. A need, to define that, is something that allows me or the business to exist, okay? And a need normally ties back into Maslow's hierarchy of needs: air, water, food, and shelter. And I need those things to exist. Those are needs. Like if I don't have air, if I don't breathe for 3 minutes, you know what's going to happen? I'm going to die, right? If like 5 minutes, I think 5 minutes, the brain goes without oxygen, you start becoming brain dead. You enter that zone. Same thing with water, food, and shelter. If I don't have any three of those within my life, I'm not surviving this world, and I'm passing on. And so that is a need. And need normally ties back to one of those four things in life. All businesses have needs in order for them to exist, in order for them to survive, right? So one of the things that all businesses need is cash flow, is money. They need finances, which means marketing ties into their need to continue to sustain and support their life. The marketing is the blood flow for that business to feed sales, and then sales feeds production. Production feeds families. Families can then buy food and put it on the table and feed themselves. They can pay for their shelter, right? They can pay for their water to drink, and it ties directly back to that need. And all businesses, all people have needs in their lives. And the reason why I am talking about all this, and the reason why I'm bringing all this up, is to help us make better decisions. Because most of the time, the majority of the time when we make decisions, we make them out of one of these two places: I want this, or I need this. And we often don't think about the need side. Most decision making is done out of want. And Andrew and I have had customers where they have made decisions because they just want something, and they don't normally make very good partners because the want is fickle, it's emotional, it can change, right? It can change very rapidly. But when it has a greater good attached to it, and there's a need attached to it, ties back to the existence of the company and the livelihood and the person at the core of things. It ties back to all of that. The partnership's better because we're aligned on this is bigger than just some emotional desire. Now, the same thing happens for us when you're able to distinguish personally, am I doing this because I want to, or does this tie back into something bigger than me? Does this tie back into one of my needs? It helps you with decision making. It's going to help with planning. It's going to help with growth personally, right? It helps. Like my wife and I, we've talked about when we have children, what do we need? What do our children need? What do they need to be successful in society as grown adults, and map that out versus what I want my kids to be. If you've met children who are raised by parents by who they want them to be, and they don't let the kids have their own free decisions and choices, it normally doesn't end up too well, because want is radically different than need. The other thing is, these two things affect most areas of our lives: relationships, the decision making that I said, the planning. It affects purchasing. It affects, how we do things, money. And the way that I was doing food is I just want to eat food. And then it's like, no, food is something I need. And it is something that helps nourish me and actually sustain my life. And this is way bigger. And that's part of what I started on when I got onto the Get Unfat program, which is also known as the Lose Weight program. And Anyways, guys, if you can drill back your decision making to want and need, and you can see when you are just wanting something versus needing something, it's radically going to change everything in your lives. Anyways, guys, I'm out of time. I'll catch you later. Peace.